Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to host a website, create your own code using React framework. So if you're new here, I'm Liz and I talk about kind of coding videos kind of recently or whatever I'm learning at the time. But React is basically a framework that is like industry standard nowadays for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So this video is mainly for people who want to post their React website and host it the easiest way possible, where you can also kind of store your code on GitHub. So I'm gonna go through like the exact way that I would do this. And I've done this, like I've failed multiple times, and this is like the slickest way to do it. So we're going to be hosting our website on Netlify, and we're also going to be using GitHub. So the first thing, you're going to see this screen here. This is GitHub desktop. Okay, so your GitHub desktop, you need to download Git, and I'll link that below in my video on Git and GitHub. Then you're going to need to download GitHub desktop. So two things. And then you're going to need to download Node.js, which I will also link below. So those are the three things you need downloaded, plus obviously VS Code. Hopefully you have like a code editor. I'm gonna be using VS Code. So hopefully your code editor is your VS Code, your backup is your GitHub, and where we're hosting it is on Netlify, and it is a React application. So first thing we're gonna do is go into File and New Repository. So this is going to be your name. This is how it's going to be stored on your GitHub account. So I'm going to be redoing my website in React because I have it in like vanilla JavaScript, or vanilla HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but it's like not as great as I would want it to be. So I'm going to call this, and I can't remember and I'll show you kind of before I do this. Let's look at what I got here. So here are my repositories. So this is GitHub. Now I've named It's Just Liz responsive website. So I might go with It's Just Liz React website. I'm going to name it that, and that should work. So we're going to do File, New Repository. It's Just Liz React website, just so I can keep things clear. Pick your path. I'm good with whatever it was, and then press Create Repository. So this is going to initialize a repository, and then what we're going to do is we're going to drag it into VS Code. So if we go to, see how it says It's Just Liz React website? That means it's searching for any edits we make here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the VS Code. Let me drag it over here. So here's a fresh VS Code. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take go into my GitHub, and I'm going to drag this folder into my VS Code and just drop it. Sometimes it makes you like authorize, like here, yes, I trust the authors, great. So this is perfect. This is what we want to see. What we're going to do then is we're going to go to the terminal, new terminal, and with the React website, you can go to the documentation here called Create React App. What you need to do is you need to install this. So I'm going to grab this. You don't need to put my app because the way we're doing it, you just need kind of like an extra dot. So I have some other documentation. I learned how to do this using SheCodes. So I'll link that below, because SheCodes is, I took their React class. Now you can take it at other places too. So I'll link all that stuff below in my review of the class if you're interested. So we're going to basically copy this, but with a space and a dot. So we're going to now go into our code and into our terminal. We're going to paste that, and we're going to press enter. And this should create or initialize your app. So you'll see it start moving, and you can kind of see as it's like creating things. It's kind of interesting. I feel very cool. I don't know what it is when I'm like in a terminal. I just feel like, you know when you watch like CSI when you're a kid and you just see like all the screens and you're like code, code, code. That's what I feel like. And I love it. I don't know why. I'm like, I'm not hacking anything. I'm building a website, okay? We're not doing anything crazy, but I don't know why that always makes me feel like I'm in some kind of TV show. And I always wanted to be that person who's like the software coder hacker person. But I'm far far from that. So we'll wait for this to load and then continue. Okay, so it looks like everything has been installed because it says happy hacking. So I love that. You'll see that a bunch of stuff just randomly popped up. They create all this extra stuff. So if I open the source and open public, look how much crap we have. So it created all these documents because we did the install React app. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start our little server. So we're gonna type in npm start, and that's going to start our server so we can see kind of what the website looks like. And I'll show you kind of like how I can manipulate it. So we're gonna wait for that to start, and then it should pop up like randomly in a window. So just keep your eyes out, because it's like always not where you think it's gonna be. Oh, great. So see how it says localhost 3000? So this is a server. So as I save my code, I can see it in action live, basically. So the server's pretty cool. My computer's a little slow right now. So you can kind of see, this is what our website looks like right now. It's not hosted anywhere, so no one can go here. This is on your own internal computer. So I'll kind of show you just I'm just gonna do something super quick and easy. So if I go into like, not my index, let's go into the app.js. So you can see it says, you know, edit this code. So I'm just gonna delete this out and put hello from, it's just Liz. And then I'm gonna press Control S to save it. And that should update my server. So if I go here, it says, you know, hello from It's Just Liz. So you kind of get the vibe, right? You start coding in here. It looks a little crazy, but it's not that bad when I walk through it. There's a lot of extra stuff they have in here. Like I don't know if I need that React thing that's like swirling around. So I can remove that if I want. But what I'm gonna do now is I want to push this to GitHub because we have not saved anything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put, you know, initial setup, something easy. And then I'm gonna press commit to main. So this is on GitHub, and then publish repository. I'm gonna keep my code not private, so I'm gonna uncheck that because I mean, open source is like everyone's about that these days. So if you guys want to check out my code for my website, be my guest. I don't care. I'm not hiding anything. So I will publish this. And what's cool about that, once that's published, we can link Netlify to the website or to the code. So I'll show you what that kind of looks like. So now that we've pushed it, we can go back here. So this is what it looks like. This is not anywhere, right? Like I can't send you this link. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna, you know, refresh and just see if this got pushed. It might take a little while. So it's just Liz React website. Great. So we know it's up here. I'm going to just refresh my Netlify app, and we haven't done anything to this yet. I just want to make sure that when I, you know, add a new site. So you'll sign in here and you can link it to your GitHub. So you see how it has the same picture as my GitHub. So what you'll do is you'll press add new site, and you'll import from an existing project. So you can kind of see my other sites. Some have failed. It's all part of the project. So here we go, import from existing project. So we're gonna click that. We're gonna click GitHub, and then it's gonna make sure that you're authorized or whatever. So as long as you're signed in somewhere. And then we have lots of options. So I'm gonna click this one because that's the one I want to upload, right? That's the one we chose. And then I don't really touch this stuff because I don't know what it means. So I'm just gonna go ahead and deploy site. Now this deploying has made me cry more times than I want to admit, but sometimes it can be very finicky with React. So like if you don't have this no referrer thing, when you have a link, it won't deploy your site, and there's all kinds of weird shit, I should say, that comes up, and you're like, oh my god, why is it not deploying? It's gonna take a while, so it'll say site deploy in progress, and then once it's done, it will say, you know, built or complete. See, it says starting up, And then you can kind of check and refresh it every now and then. But it's no big deal if it fails. You just click the fail log or the build log and you kind of go in there, and usually it says what's wrong. Now, it does sound Greek, and that's what makes me panic, but you'll be okay. Google, Stack Overflow, all that stuff. I will also put like my top, maybe I'll do a video on my top worst pushes or trying to get my thing hosted. So it looks like it was published. So this is great. This is like the first time it's ever published without like any issues. So now when I click it, if you go to Admiring Hopper, EFD802.netlify.app, you can see this live. So, and I may have, I'm going to eventually connect this to my domain, which is itsjustliz.org. So by the time you're watching this video, it might not be up, might not use that URL, but I will do a separate video on how to, get your domain linked, and so that way you can send people stuff that doesn't say like Admiring Hopper or whatever. But this is perfect. So now when you want to edit your code, all you have to do is you'll make a simple edit in here, and then you'll push it to GitHub. So I'll just show you a quick example. So if I change it to hello from Liz, for example, and I'll put a couple extra things. Control S to save it, and then you're gonna put, test, commit to main, and then you'll push origin, and what it will do is it will rebuild your site, so that if I go to Admiring Hopper or whatever our site was, and I'll refresh it, and you kind of just have to keep refreshing it until it's done, because what it's going to say is it's building again. So if we go in here and refresh, it's going to say that there's another build, so building again. But it's cool because I don't have to go here. I didn't have to tell it to build, right? I just saved my code and I push it to GitHub, and it knows that I changed my code, and then it will rebuild the site. So it's very cool because now when we go here and we refresh, it says hello from Liz. So how easy is that? I wish somebody would have told me that. So I'm super happy with the GitHub and Netlify kind of combination. And what I've read on Twitter is that it is the best way to set up your website. If it's like a personal website, I'm not like an advanced website builder, but for my like personal website, this is great. And for websites you're practicing with, you get like kind of a free domain situation. I mean, it's kind of interesting name, but it's great for learning. And that's how I did all my apps and all my projects, as I just did on Netlify, because it's free. I didn't pay anything. So comment below if you want to see anything else. I'm definitely going to do a couple more videos on this as I build my website, and I will see you guys next time.